Hello and welcome back to Uncut with KJH. This episode is going to be all about sexy glam makeup. Simple, subtle, beautiful, just the most gorgeous version of yourself. Which, let's be honest, we don't need makeup for that, but it's fun to play with it and use it as an accessory to evoke the feelings that you might have inside to show them on the outside. Okay, got on a little bit of makeup. I just did a video all about brushes. Should already be live. It's called Brush Basics. So I'm just going to get stuck in with honestly more of the same things that I used earlier, which is my concealer. This is Armani. The concept of the series that you're currently watching is unedited, unfiltered, uncut story video type that allows for you to see all of the good, the bad, and everything in between of beauty, because sometimes the edits cut out the parts that might be the most important. So I'm just blending that with the number 7 brush from good old DIEUX Cosmetics, precisely just where I left them. Just flipping my brush around to do the bits under the eyes. It's a big brush, which means it covers a lot of ground quickly. But obviously I placed my blush down because I wanted to sort of blend the blush with this concealer brush, foundation brush, for example. Popping it on, blending it in. So I think like a beautiful sexy glam look should have a bit of a rosy cheek, like a little bit of a flush, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna do the skin first and just decorate the eyes in a way that I feel like just evokes sort of a bit of a bedroom eyes kind of look. Blending that in, and then I'm gonna move on to eyes. And I'm gonna do my bronzer in a little bit. First of all, for eyes, I'm gonna use half Magic eye paint in the shade Magic Brownie. These are interesting. They can be used as liners and eyeshadows. I'm gonna depot it onto my hand and use like a small little, that's the color. Looks more like a lip color than it does an eyeshadow. But I'm just gonna use like a little smudgy brush and just apply that around the entire circumference of my eye. On the top and bottom. Top, I already have on just like a little mascara and a little concealer and taupe eyeshadow, but I'm going back in with more, so it's almost like I'm primed in a way with all the other stuff. Would I do this to a client? No. Would I do it to myself between a day and a night situation? Absolutely. The reason why I wouldn't do it to a client is I feel like unless like we were really quickly changing looks between different stages of a day, like if I was with somebody for the day and they needed about 4 or 5 different looks throughout the day, I would build on top of things, but typically I would take that makeup off that they had on and then start from scratch. Blending with another brush, because you can't really blend with a smudgy brush like that into a fluffy blur. Fluffy blur meaning like wide and transparent. And I'm going to go in a bit more before I go in with this brush and a little bit of this Laguna Quad Shadow from NARS. I'm going to take this taupey brown. I'm just going to go around the entire eye again and just do that. The technique of this, putting a little bit of cream shadow down first, really adds a primer type texture to this eyeshadow. You can totally just go straight on with the eyeshadow and maybe a little concealer underneath or powder. But I don't believe there's too much rule with makeup. It's just what works for you. And hopefully what works for me, you try and works for you, because that's the point. Or you just feel inspired to do your own makeup that day. I have a list of YouTube video content that I want to share. But if you do ever have requests, you are welcome to drop them in the box below. It's hard to know what to create because you don't always know what people want, but sometimes I feel like we don't know what we want. Using a little, just different parts of the same eyeshadow in different parts of the face to create different shadows. I really love to play up this shadow right here in the inner corner of the eye, because I think it looks quite dramatic and sexy and sultry without looking like you've really got anything on or done anything. But I love the concept of just working with browns and taupes and neutrals to create all this beautiful dimension. So the flat of a brush like this brush, see the way it has a pinch there on the ferrule? That allows for you to do lash line definition and allows for you to press into the eye with the flat of the brush. So you've got 2 different angles on a brush like this. You've got the tip, you've got the flat. They're a great brush to have. There's one in my kit called the number 11. But they're a very, very popular brush. Like almost every single brand makes a brush this shape. A brand that at least provides brushes. And then it allows for you to pull out at the side of the eye and create a slightly winged effect. out of the shape of the shadow that you're doing. So they're a great little all-rounder. It's like if you had one eyeshadow brush, I would suggest this type of shape if you only wanted one. Okay, so there we are. I'm gonna move on to like lip stuff before I'm not finished with the eye yet. I don't quite know where I want to go next, but I'm gonna just do a little bit of the Nabla Lip Shaper in number 1. I love this color. It's like the most barely there lip liner for me, for my complexion. And I used this on Lily Allen a couple of weeks ago, and it gave us the most amazing full lip. And I like to use it just to like extend the lip edge a little, and also neutralize a lot of the natural pink that exists in my lip. And the more that you use, the grayer it gets. So it's something to be aware of. But it's perfect. And then it just allows that little bit of natural lip color that you have to show through. But I am going to use it with a little bit of this Color Stay ink, Color Stay Suede ink from Revlon in the shade No Rules 02. Just a little, it's actually quite a dry lipstick. I think I need a little bit more base. It's an amazing lipstick. I wore this the other day to set. I'm on this 2.5-week job at the moment, and I wore this to set, and it literally did not budge through me eating breakfast and literally having food down my face. I was like, I can feel my lipstick smearing down my face. I looked in the mirror and it was perfect about 15 minutes later. Gonna use a little bit of the Rose Lip Balm. Just a, not even a drop. Just to get it going, because it's a very, very matte lipstick. Wow, this is crazy. It's like hard to blend it, but it's good to know that that's what it does on a dry lip surface. I feel like I've always put it on a primed lip surface, but I'm not mad at it, because you just know that you're going to get like mad longevity out of that. I might use a little bit of this Magic Drop glitter lip gloss from Half Magic over the top. I really am attracted to the color. I would use that as an eye gloss, with no question. Oh wow, cool. I'm just going to use this like as a highlight, really. Pretty. Okay. Blend it in more on the bottom lip than the top. And then I'm just going to do a touch more bronzer. My favorite bronzer that I keep always going back to is the Seychelles from Rose Inc. I love it with the brush from Rose Inc. But I also do use my number 4 brush with my number 2 brush with this one, for just a different softer application. This is quite a dense brush, so it kind of applies quickly if you pick up a lot of product. Sometimes you want that. I am of course going to blend that. Please do not panic. I want like a snatched kind of look. So I might go to Sephora today and shoot a little Sephora favorites video. I don't know if I have the time, but I'm going to try. Okay. Bronzer, 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 just all up in the hairline. Anywhere where your face gets sun first is where bronzer should go. But I am also using this bronzer as a contour, so hopefully that's not confusing. Typically, the only rule of thumb is if you are using this is another version of this brush. I wouldn't blend with this because it's got a lot of pink in it. I'm going to use the clean version. And I would typically normally blend with that, except for I used a lot, so I want to blend with a clean brush. Bronzers and contour products are a little transferable in the sense of like you can kind of use, depends on the tone. You can kind of use a bronzer to contour, and you can kind of use a contour to bronze. It depends on the color and the placement and how much of it you're using. So I just think take it all with a pinch of salt and just play with your products. And when you play with your product, you will find that you just, I don't know, you learn what you like more. Getting soft here, and I'm like, okay, it's some 40 this year, which is crazy to say out loud because I still feel like I'm 25, but I'm definitely noticing like a softer tightness in the jaw, and I wish it was a bit more like this. Who knows, maybe I'll do something about it, maybe I won't. You know, we'll see what happens. So now is the time where I sort of just go in and amplify little areas that I kind of want more on. And I think it's also good to apply, I think it's good to apply like everything a little bit gradually as opposed to everything all at once, so that you kind of then can see, oh, do I like that amount of this, or do I want more, or do I want to, you know, take it back a little, because it's much easier to keep adding than it is to actually take things away. I think that's such an important fact that people maybe don't know about makeup. I'm going to grab a quick eyeshadow from down below. My do not disturb just switched off. Perfect timing. Hopefully this is of a shade. Nope. I picked up Sorcery from good old Lisa Eldridge. But I'm going to take this Semi-Sweet x9 palette from MAC, and I'm just going to go with this darkest brown with a small little pencil brush just for a bit more drama around the eye. Because I can't get so deep from what I used from NARS to begin with. I want a little bit more depth. I don't want to do a liner. I just want it to be soft, dreamy, and whimsical. Might do a little in there too, just to enhance that area. And this is like a perfect date night makeup. It's even a perfect wedding makeup to go as a wedding guest too, or even I would use this as a bride if you have a bride that wants like a soft, smoky type of vibe for their wedding makeup. I think it's like fair game. I think any makeup's fair game. It's like, there's often like a lot of like, ooh, what should I do for that and what should I do for that? And I think it's all relative, but I think it also, it's like, what would you wear what you want to wear? Like, that's the beauty of it. I do think, like, you know, there's makeup looks that do work well with specific things, and I'm always so happy to share and you know, if anybody DMs me being like, I'm wearing this dress at my brother's wedding, what should I wear with it? And I'll be like, I think you should do this with that. But there's really no right or wrong. I'm just adding a little bit of mascara. This is the NARS Climax. So nice. This is a great mascara if you are, it's a great mascara anyway, but it's a really great mascara if you are a through the day layerer of product, because the bristles are very, very soft, which allows for you to deposit more product quite easily. Whereas, like, for example, your Tower 28, you could totally put more product on with the Tower 28, but because the bristles are more molded and they are more of a silicone wand, you can't really scrape through the lash. This kind of just like fits in between the lashes and just deposits more on top of what I've already got on, which I already have on is Tower 28. So two different mascaras, I think, two different mascara wands. Like a nylon bristle like this is a really good layerer formula, or layering wand. And yeah. All right, I'm gonna do one more little thing, two more little things actually. I don't like having huge lists for makeup for what I've used, but I do try to keep it short and sweet. I love this makeup. I just love when like the brights feel bright and the shadows feel shadowy. Like contrast essentially is achieved. That's kind of my favorite makeup look. I'm gonna apply a little bit of my highlighter. It's not coming until fall of this year. If I can find it quickly, I will pop it on. It's a customizable formula. That's really all I'm gonna say at this point. And where is it when I need it? It's in here. These are my batch samples. There's a few other shades. There's another one of the shades. I'm actually going to use the gold shade today. I'm just going to use it with just neat. Just with my finger. Just like a little down the nose. A little on the nose. I like a little nose highlight. A little chin highlight. A little cheek highlight just there. And you will see more about what I mean about customizable formula in due time. I think it's always nice to hit areas where the sunlight hits your face. Also, the ears are exposed. Transfer a little to the ears too, but not the hair, because that's a bit weird. Cool. I'm just going to do one more quick cheeky area, which is my brow bone. And I use a little tiny brush for that. For that brow bone highlight, I kind of went off it for a very long time, and now I'm like into it again. Cool. That's it. That's the end of this look. Pop any questions below. Here's a close-up of the look. And it's easy. It took 14 minutes. I do need to blend just a little more, but I really like it. I'm going to take a quick photo for the thumbnail, and love you all. See you later. Bye.